From Nutrien Ag Solutions, I'm Senior Meteorologist Andrew Pritchard with your Canadian Prairie weather story for Monday, June 24th, 2024. I'm going to tell you I'm running into some technical issues, just some technical annoyances, I would say, mostly having to do with animations on my computer today. So I'm coming to you a few hours late because I just decided let's just do it a little different, and that kind of means just omitting some of the animations that I sometimes use to back up this forecast, but we'll get through it anyway. I've got a forecast here that really covers the next 48 hours being pretty quiet in many areas. We've got some showers tapering off near and north of Highway 16 and down into southern Manitoba. The pattern ramps back up midweek, though. We've got showers, storms, and corridors of heavy rain through late June and probably into early July. And then that favorable ridge alignment continues to keep the heat the worst of it away from us here across the Canadian Prairie. Now, the last 3 days of precipitation over the weekend, a lot of scattered showers and storms, some severe weather yesterday, scattered supercell thunderstorms that were producing some big hail and even a couple of tornadoes that extended down into parts of southern Manitoba as well. And as we look at the last 7 days, you can really see the pattern here as storm systems continue to cut through the area, some of which bringing heavy rainfall, some catastrophic flooding across parts of the upper Midwest, some of those heavier showers and storms at times lifting into southern Manitoba, parts of southern Ontario. But really, the jet stream continues to be very fast through this area here, and that means not too much in the way of prolonged excessive heat, and that also means we've got routine chances for showers and storms across the area. So looking at the infrared satellite picture here, Monday morning, we've got one pretty big cluster of showers and storms ongoing across parts of southern Manitoba down into the upper Midwest of the United States. A bit of a break behind that, though. Again, we've got some higher pressure coming in, a bit of a frontal boundary extending south from the storm system that's exiting right now. So kind of cooler, or not necessarily cooler, but a bit drier, more stable air settling into the prairie here. Those temperatures are actually going to be warming up over the next couple of days with the emergence of the next storm system that'll bring rain back to the area late week into the weekend. We'll see some warming up in advance of that. So here's your radar. Again, Monday morning, heavier showers and storms off to the south, and then you can find some isolated shower and thunderstorm clusters here. Again, north of Highway 16 in most areas, Saskatoon, some heavier rain early this morning, and then Peace River to Grand Prairie to Edmonton, areas north of that, seeing showers and storms here Monday morning as well. Those temperatures, again, a little cooler in the west, a little warmer in the east. Again, with the storm system tracking across the region, we see the alignment like that. And then as the next storm system makes its way in, as we get toward the middle part of the week, we'll again see southerly flow, bringing those warmer temperatures back into the prairie. So we continue to ride that springtime and early summertime temperature roller coaster that comes along with an active jet stream pattern. Now, speaking of an active jet stream pattern, this is your next 7 days of precipitation. Broadly, kind of looking at the European ensemble. Again, a lot of heavy precipitation in this area and right here across the upper Midwest. And this is largely thanks to a ridge of high pressure, again, that I'm going to do this in black, continues to kind of sit itself across the southern U.S. And not only that, but in kind of a squished manner. And what I mean by that is if I kind of take the first drawings off, instead of seeing a big ridge that's, like this and has the jet stream coming way over the top of it, it's a flatter ridge that really has the jet stream kind of just circulating in a very flat manner like that. So the flow from the Pacific continues to come in. We see storm systems making their way in, and then we see flow coming around that ridge as well. So this area just continues to get hit hard by routine storm systems, and that is, for the most part, good news. As we head through this time of year, we need the rain that comes with these showers and storms. We do not want to bake underneath a big expansive ridge like we did last summer. So looking at week 2, this takes us into July, really not a huge change. We lose some confidence here, but you see kind of the same look with these active corridors right here across the main growing region of North America. One more way to look at this is your next 2 weeks. The precipitation anomaly, so where you see green shading on here is where it's going to be wetter than normal for the last week of June, the first week of July, highlighting kind of the same corridor right here that includes much of the prairie down into the upper Midwest, much of the central Corn Belt with routine storm systems. And where it's dry, again, you can kind of put the H over this brown shaded terrain. That is where that ridge continues to circulate. We just get disturbances coming around the ridge and in from the Pacific. It is active here. It is active here. So we move on, we'll look at the jet stream pattern here, the 500 millibar heights. This will kind of tell the story right here. I've done a lot of drawing the ridge. Well, let's look at the ridge. This is as we get to kind of July 2nd. You're seeing the same pattern repeating itself, where storm systems emerge, upper level disturbances come in from the Pacific. Here's our flatter ridge across the region. So the jet stream still coming over the top, still coming in from the west. This is a recipe for a very active pattern right across this corridor. So it makes sense then. We look at the next 3 to 4 days. This is through Thursday evening. The precipitation going to be heaviest north of Highway 16 over the next couple of days. And then as we get into Wednesday and Thursday, you'll start to see those precipitation totals begin to tick upward across portions of western and central Alberta. You could really start to get in on that rain and thunderstorm activity late Wednesday into the day on Thursday. Take a look at that here. Again, I can't animate this, but I'll show you the forecast precipitation here Monday evening. A lot of this north of Highway 16 with that kind of departing storm system, just still a little bit of moisture here and a little bit of convergence in the upper levels to give us that shower and storm activity. But then we get more in the way of organized support for more robust shower and thunderstorm activity, maybe some renewed chances for renewed chances for severe weather as we get to Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday across the region. But this is your next area of low pressure that emerges across the region as we get into, it starts Wednesday evening, Wednesday night, but then really makes its way in on Thursday. So you can expect southerly flow out ahead of that, maybe some instability supporting, severe weather, and then cooler air coming in on the backside there. We would expect another round of showers and storms, and this one forecast to be pretty heavy right across the prairie. So through Wednesday night, your total precipitation right here from the European AI forecast system, pretty dry across areas south of Highway 16 until we get to Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We start to bring that back in. Look at this. We're talking about maybe 30, 40, 50, maybe as much as 60 millimeters of precipitation across portions of southern Alberta. Southern Saskatchewan into southwestern Manitoba, but central southern Alberta, you too are talking about 20 to 30 millimeters of precipitation, maybe higher amounts in some areas, and maybe unfortunately coming with some severe weather impacts as well. So be paying attention to the weather here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Could be a bit of a bumpy road. And then as we add in the week that follows, this takes you all the way through July 5th. Look at this, a lot of moisture forecast across the prairie over the next 2 weeks. Some areas here seeing multiple inches of rain, getting into the 60 to 80 millimeters of rainfall range. In some of these areas, again, across southern Manitoba, have seen quite a bit in the last week or two. Might start talking about some localized flooding in these areas as well. So the next 2 weeks look stormy, localized heavy rainfall, localized severe weather impacts possible, with those temperatures really being pretty much a non-factor. High temperatures bouncing between the upper teens, the low to mid-20s in most areas. Those overnight lows between 5 to 12, maybe 15 degrees on some of the warmer overnights as well. Here it is in Saskatoon, Regina, and Winnipeg. So buckle up. We got a quiet next couple of days before we turn very stormy to close out the month of June and begin the month of July. High rainfall totals possible across some areas.